On today's video, I'm going to give you guys a tour of one of my deer blinds. Hey there, outdoor YouTubers. It's Dave Knetter from Knetter's Practical Outdoors, and I've done videos like this in the past on a couple of my other deer blinds. This is one that I haven't hunted in a while. It's one that had some repairs that we drug out here. If you've been kind of following along with the channel, you can see that we've been working on this all fall. Put in a different location, had to do some repairs. But anyways, we got the finished product here, or at least very close to the finished product. Probably what I'll be hunting in when rifle season rolls around, and I thought I might give you guys a tour of it. It's a pretty decent sized blind. It's 6 by 6. It's 6 feet high in the back. It's 7 feet high in the front. You know, that gives it the angled roof. It's got a nice big door. That's kind of handy when you start getting a little older like me. You get this nice big door. Okay, nice and easy to get into. I even gave myself a little step because it's so muddy out here in the swamp. I gave myself a little step to get up in here. And again, because of the mud, I gave myself a little mat to kind of wipe my feet off. You know, got a chunk of carpeting in here. 2 chairs. You know, that's one of the reasons for the 6 by 6 in case somebody else wants to come in here with me. We got the heater, okay. We've got this bucket with this swim noodle, okay. You maybe remember this from one of my other deer blind tours, but I wrap that swim noodle around this bucket, and this becomes a pretty handy dandy toilet when you're out hunting, okay. We don't have to get into too many details there. We've also got a empty jar of applesauce. I'm sure you can figure out what that's for. I got this tin, nice festive tin, and we keep some toiletries in there. That way the mice can't get at them. All right. And you know, I guess just in case you're wondering, if I do use this little porta toilet, I use it. I tie the bag up in a nice tight knot, and I set it outside the blind, bring it back, and dispose of it properly, okay? I don't sit in here smelling you know what the whole time I'm hunting. So just so we're clear on that, all right? Okay, a couple other things. This blind is insulated, okay? Again, if you've been following along with the channel, you've probably seen that we insulated it. It's just that foil face insulation with sections. And then a technique I like to use to attach the foil face to the blind wall is just come from the outside, run a screw in, put a little piece of wood, and then run that screw into that, and it kind of sucks that little piece of board into the wall of the blind, and it holds this insulation panel nice and tight in these different cavities. Okay. Now you can see that some of it is painted, some of it is not. Okay, that's by design. Anywhere that like a deer could be looking into these windows at me, I like to have a nice dark background, okay? In the other areas down low, up high, I don't mind having it light. When I'm sitting in here in low light conditions, then I can kind of see stuff that's down lower to the ground, you know, whatever it might be. If I got a drink on the ground, if I got a deer call, I can see a little bit better down below in low light conditions, but again, I always like to have that nice dark background behind me when I'm sitting in here. Okay, like I said, it's actually 7 feet high up in the front, so I have a nice high ceiling, all right, and that is handy. If you're going to be out in the woods, sitting in a blind for several hours, it is nice to stand up and stretch, you know. It really comes in handy to be able to stand up and stretch. And that brings us to this, okay? And there's 2 functions behind this. This is just a little screened vent, all right? And when I'm standing up, I can actually look out my main lane and see if anything's out there while I'm standing up. Instead of sitting here and bending down and kind of standing up, stretching my back, and then wondering if there's a deer out there, I can actually look out this little screened vent. And I also do use this as an actual vent. You know, when you start insulating these blinds, you know, and going around the door like this one, you know, I've got this door seals up pretty good. You know, you're trying to get it mouse proof, okay? Well, when you're getting something mouse proof, same thing with the, you know, the grate foam along all the seams, this is sealed up pretty tight. Well, you want to have some kind of vent in here, all right? It's not such a big deal when you're just using it when you're out here hunting. You're kind of opening the door and letting some fresh air in and out. But when this blind sits here during the off season, any moisture that's in here will just sit in here. And you can kind of start to get mold and mildew in your blind when it's all sealed up nice and, you know, almost airtight. You can get mold and mildew starting to set in. So you want to have a vent like this, right? So I've always got a little bit of airflow. And of course, I mean, there's going to be a few cracks around the door here and there, but that keeps that mold and mildew down. So this screen vent kind of performs two tasks. And we've got the plexiglass windows, all right? These ones on the side are permanent. This one lifts up and down, as you can see. I've got this string on here, and when I open it to shoot, I'll just put it up like that and hook that string on that screw, okay? That holds the window up. Nice piece of neoprene to set the rifle down on. Nice steady shooting rest. That's very handy to have, okay? Shut this up. And then when I do button this up for the season, I'll kind of shut this window so nothing can crawl in it. I might run a screw to keep it permanently shut. I might use, you know, do something with this string to keep it permanently shut. But you don't want critters coming in. Of course, these side windows, you know, you want to be able to see somewhat. And then, you know, having more or less windows in a deer blind is always kind of a compromise one way or the other. Okay. The more windows you have, obviously, the more places you can see. But then the more windows you have, the more light comes in, the more deer can see movement inside the blind, okay? I'm in a pretty thick swamp here, and I really only have one good main shooting lane. So I kind of just go with being able to see forward down that main lane. The side windows, you know, I might catch some movement coming in from the side. I might be able to get my gun up and ready, that sort of thing. And of course, if I'm sitting here with two people, you know, it's nice to have more windows for that. This copper tube right here, I guess my intentions are I'm actually going to mount a camera on here, and I don't know if I'm going to be filming any deer being shot or not. Of course, you know, you never know if that's going to happen, but I should be able to film certainly some deer, you know, some does, maybe some small bucks. You know, maybe I'll be able to self-film a deer being shot, who knows. But that's what this is about. I've got a mount for the camera that kind of clamps down on, you know, round tubular objects, so that'll go right there. And now, an important message from Camaro's Crawlers. Attention deer hunters, before you head out into the woods, stop by Camaro's Crawlers and pick up a Rut Starter Trophy Block. Not only does Rut Starter Trophy Block have all the salt and minerals that deer love, but Rut Starter Trophy Block is also infused with Viagra. Get the rut started in your hunting area by putting out a Rut Starter Trophy Block infused with Viagra. And hey, guys, don't try licking it. It's formulated for white-tailed deer. And also, when you're at Camaro's Crawlers, be sure to pick up a bottle of Promiscuous Doe urine. Promiscuous doe is the only doe urine taken from the most sexually active does. You want to attract a big buck? Use Promiscuous doe urine. Make that buck think it's a sure thing. Also, it's gluten-free. Now, my buddy Ronnie Camaro, he's the owner of Camaro's Crawlers. He's got an exclusive offer for Knetter's Practical Outdoors viewers only. Alright, if you head on down to Camaro's Crawlers and you pick up a Rut Starter Trophy Block, the only deer block infused with Viagra, and you pick up a bottle of Promiscuous doe urine, the only doe urine taken from the most sexually active does. All right, if you buy both these products, if you tell either Ronnie or Ronnie's Pro Staff or Mom that you saw this ad on Knetter's Practical Outdoors, they are going to throw in a free set of gutting gloves. And I'll tell you what, if you get both these products and you're going to be deer hunting and using both these products, you are going to need a set of gutting gloves. And as I'm hunting, I'll usually have my rifle kind of pointed up, kind of resting right here. It's kind of easy to get to. Get it out the window if I need to. The carpeting on the floor acts as a little bit of sound control as you're shuffling your feet around, and it actually acts as a little insulation. The entire blind is up on cinder blocks with some wooden shims here and there to get it level. Again, we're kind of in a swampy area. It's wet. You really can't have, untreated wood just sitting in the water, right? Because it's just going to rot away. So this blind is up a little bit. It's got good airflow underneath it. I do actually have a big piece of rubber roofing under it to kind of keep the moisture down a little bit, but there is a good opening, good ventilation for airflow. Yeah, and even the top part of this door is painted again. I like to have that dark background behind me. Nice big door, easy in, easy out. We got our Mr. Heater, little buddy heater. I make my own little stand for it. It seems to work out a lot better than the stand that they give you. It's got a little bit more of a footprint to it. It's a little sturdier there. It's a little easier to get in and out of the stand when you change bottles. And of course this little heater with the window closed, with a nice sealed up insulated blind like this, it'll be plenty warm in here, that's for sure. I won't be suffering at all in here. I originally built this blind probably about 9 years ago, and I had a spot out at my deer camp that I wanted to get it to. I built it in sections so it could be brought out a piece at a time, but I mean even the sections, on a 6x6 blind aren't real small. But I built the sections, and the spot I was going to put it, I was pretty confident that I could drag each section one at a time behind my four-wheeler, okay? And that was the original plan with this blind. And when I went to do it, the water level in the swamp where I was going had come up some, and I really got the four-wheeler buried and stuck on a couple of occasions trying to get this blind back there. So that didn't work out at all. So I wound up sticking it at a secondary location. I didn't really hunt out of it much. It had kind of got let go. Porcupines had chewed some huge holes in it. It was really in disrepair. So we took it apart. Me and my sons brought it back to the camp, repaired it, insulated it, added the plexiglass windows because I never had those things before, and brought it back out to maybe a little bit more of a primary spot where I'll probably make a little bit better use out of it. But it wasn't an easy task, dragging it out even in this swamp. I couldn't do it with a four-wheeler. We had to carry it out, one wall at a time. The roof was in different sections. It took a while to get it out here. Be a really comfortable blind to hunt out of. I'm really excited for this deer season. But anyways, guys, so there's a tour of kind of my primary blind at my deer camp. But anyways, guys, remember to hunt, fish, laugh, repeat. This is Dave Knetter from Knetter's Practical Outdoors. Hey, thanks for watching, and God bless.